Coffee Break Italian, Season 2, Episode 31. Buongiorno a tutti, siamo tornati. We are back with another episode of Coffee Break Italian and we are absolutely delighted to be here. Io sono Mark.
Ciao a tutti, e io sono Francesca.
Come stai, Francesca?
Sto benissimo, Mark, grazie. E tu?
Benissimo, anch'io. Allora, come sono andate le vacanze?
Benissimo, ovviamente. Sempre troppo corte, ma...
Esatto. Sei andata in Italia?
Sì, sono andata in Italia a fine luglio e ho passato un po' di giorni con la mia famiglia, ho rivisto i miei amici italiani, tutti i miei parenti. Sì, è stato bellissimo.
Mi hai detto anche che sei partita in vacanza dall'Italia in Spagna.
Ah, sì, ho fatto una vacanza nella vacanza.
Perfetto.
Sono andata in Spagna e ho fatto il Cammino di Santiago, ma non tutto, non avevo abbastanza tempo.
Ma brava, comunque.
Ah, bellissimo, lo consiglio a tutti.
Perfetto, il Cammino di Santiago.
Sì.
The Way of St. James.
Esatto, sì.
In the north of Spain. Fantastic. Well done you.
Grazie. Saluto tutte le persone con cui ho condiviso il cammino.
Ah, hai fatto un po' di pubblicità per Coffee Break Spanish o italiano?
Sì, ovviamente, certo.
Perfetto.
E tu, Mark, come hai passato l'estate?
Allora, siamo andati in Spagna, nel sud della Spagna.
Che bello!
E poi abbiamo passato una settimana meravigliosa sotto il sole spagnolo.
Immagino.
E poi anche ho fatto una settimana di lavoro in Francia.
In Francia, che bello!
Sì, con Pierre Benoit.
Ah!
ma che cosa vuoi dire?
Già immagino, tu e Pierre Benoit in Francia lavorando.
Sì, abbiamo fatto molto lavoro, te lo prometto.
Ok, voglio controllare.
Abbiamo filmato un po', abbiamo registrato un po' di contenuto per il Coffee Break French.
Bravissimi.
Tutto è andato molto bene.
Sono contenta.
Now we're back with another episode of Coffee Break Italian. This is the first in the final 10 lessons of Coffee Break Italian Season 2. And they're a little bit different because we're going to be presenting to you a soap opera, 10 episodes of this radio play, and you're going to be following a story and improving your Italian all the way. You might be wondering, however, where's Isla? Dov'è Isla?
Sì.
Isla, unfortunately, isn't going to be joining us for these 10 episodes. However, she will be featuring in the soap opera, so I'm sure you recognize her voice very quickly in our soap opera. Allora, Francesca, siamo pronti?
Sì, siamo pronti, direi.
Allora.
Quindi mettiamoci al lavoro, come sempre.
Okay, Francesca, can you explain a little about our soap opera?
Okay, so today we're going to meet the first three characters of our soap opera, which are Mia, the protagonist, and also Anna and Riccardo.
Okay.
But I don't want to tell you who they are and what they're doing. It's for our listeners to discover. La storia inizia in Scozia. So the story starts here in Scotland because la protagonista Mia è scozzese o italo-scozzese. She's Scot-Italian. Ma don't worry, we won't be in Scotland for long. And non voglio spoilerare la storia, come diciamo adesso in italiano.
Spoilerare?
Sì, è un verbo un po' strano.
You don't want to spoil the story, so è uno spoiler.
Sì,
okay.
sì.
You've got to remember it's uno because it starts with SP.
Sì.
Yeah? But the verb is spoilerare. I love that. That's a fantastic verb. Now, Francesca, do you have a role in this soap opera?
I do. I'm not one of the characters, but I'll be the narrator.
The narrator, so you'll be framing everything.
Yes.
Excellent. Okay, so if we don't want to spoil the story anymore, I think we need to get straight into our first episode of our soap opera, which is called, Francesca?
La mia estate.
La mia estate, my summer, but of course a play on words with our main protagonist. Let's listen to our first episode of La mia estate.
Riccardo, un papà italo-scozzese, e sua figlia, Mia, si preparano a trascorrere le loro vacanze estive in Italia. Riccardo è single perché purtroppo molti anni fa lui e Vanessa, la mamma di Mia, hanno divorziato. Vanessa per un po' di mesi ha nascosto una relazione con un ragazzo molto più giovane di lei, ma quando Riccardo ha scoperto il tradimento, lei ha deciso di lasciare il marito e la figlia per trasferirsi a Londra con il suo nuovo fidanzatino. Da allora Riccardo si è sempre preso cura della sua Mia, anche se a volte è davvero iperprotettivo e non capisce che Mia non è più una bambina ormai.
Pronto?
Ciao Anna, sono Mia.
Oh mamma mia, che sorpresa! Mia, carissima, come stai?
Sto bene, e tu? Mi manchi tantissimo. Is that right? I miss you, that's what I want to say.
Sì, è giusto, bravissima. Anche tu mi manchi. Ma brava, non hai dimenticato l'italiano?
Well, to tell you the truth, Anna, this year at uni has been really tough. We've covered so much Italian grammar, but I feel I've lost my ability to speak Italian. I think what I really need is a trip to Italy. And you know I'm a bit shy to speak Italian with my dad, sono timida.
Don't worry, I know what you mean. When we lived in Austria, I found it hard to speak Italian with my mamma, what with her Sicilian accent. But now that we've moved to Trento, it's so much better. Anche se il mio accento è ancora un po' tedesco. Ma non importa. Come dicono qui in Italia, chi se ne frega? Who cares?
Chi se ne frega? Che espressione carina. I need to write it down before I forget it. Listen, Anna, I have a big favour to ask you. You know how I need to practice my Italian? Well, I was wondering, posso venire a lavorare al campeggio di tua mamma quest'estate? I really want to improve my Italian, and it would be great to be working with you in Trento.
Oh Mia, ma certamente! Sai che mia madre ti adora e poi d'estate abbiamo sempre un sacco di lavoro. Ci sono clienti da tutta Europa e molti di loro parlano solo inglese, quindi non vedo l'ora.
Grazie mille. Allora parlo subito con mio padre. I hope he lets me.
Ah, sicuramente. A presto, un bacio, ciao.
Ciao ciao.
I know, but it would be a really good opportunity for me. What do you think, Dad?
Mia, tesoro mio, vuoi andare in Italia, ma continui a parlare in inglese con me. Perché? Non capisco proprio. Ormai studi l'italiano all'università da 2 anni e dovresti essere più sicura di te.
Lo so, but it feels weird talking to you in Italian when we're in Scotland. That's why I want to go to Italy.
Capisco, ma che cosa farai in Italia?
What will I do?
Sì, dove vivrai, che lavoro farai, come passerai il tempo.
Dad, I've already explained this. You remember Anna, the Italian girl who came to study English last year at my university? She said that I can work at her mum's campsite in Trento. D'estate ci sono tantissimi turisti e hanno bisogno di personale soprattutto ad agosto.
Ah, che bello! E quali saranno i tuoi compiti?
My homework?
No, compiti significa homework, ma anche tasks o duties.
Anna said we will be working together, welcoming guests, checking them in, troubleshooting, and making sure people enjoy all the entertainment on offer. Allora, posso andare?
Va bene, ma ad una condizione.
A condition? Dad, don't you dare!
Voglio venire anch'io in Italia con te.
Oh no, ti prego! I can't believe you!
Ti prometto che non verrò al campeggio ogni giorno a controllare quello che fai. Mi fido di te, ormai sei grande. E poi devo anche sbrigare degli affari mentre sono in Italia e soprattutto voglio vedere un po' di case perché ho intenzione di comprare finalmente una casa per le vacanze in montagna.
You've made up your mind, haven't you?
Dai, Mia.
Is there any point in me trying to get you to change your mind?
Vedrai che ci divertiremo. Su, facciamo le valigie.
Riccardo è davvero un papà iperprotettivo e la povera Mia non sembra molto soddisfatta del compromesso. Però, come diciamo in italiano, non tutto il male viene per nuocere. Quindi chissà quante cose potranno ancora accadere nella lunga e calda estate italiana.
Well, that's our first episode of our soap opera, and I hope you all enjoyed it.
I really enjoyed it. Mi è piaciuta tantissimo.
Now, what we're going to do with these episodes of our soap opera in Coffee Break Italian is go through each section, if you like. There are paragraphs or segments of the recordings, and we'll go through each part, listen to it again, and then talk about some of the language and what's happening in each section. We'll then, in our bonus episodes, be explaining everything in great detail. So we'll go through every line and translate it so that you've understood all the language elements and the vocabulary elements in the content there. So in this episode, we've got 4 sections. The first and the fourth section are narrator parts. So when Francesca explains what's happening. And then in the second part, we had a phone call between Mia and Anna, her friend. And then Mia and her dad, Riccardo, talked about the situation. So we're going to go through each of these 4 sections again, have a listen again, and then we'll talk about the language contained in each part. So let's listen to our narrator section to begin with.
Riccardo, un papà italo-scozzese, e sua figlia, Mia, si preparano a trascorrere le loro vacanze estive in Italia. Riccardo è single perché purtroppo molti anni fa lui e Vanessa, la mamma di Mia, hanno divorziato. Vanessa per un po' di mesi ha nascosto una relazione con un ragazzo molto più giovane di lei, ma quando Riccardo ha scoperto il tradimento, lei ha deciso di lasciare il marito e la figlia per trasferirsi a Londra con il suo nuovo fidanzatino. Da allora Riccardo si è sempre preso cura della sua Mia, anche se a volte è davvero iperprotettivo e non capisce che Mia non è più una bambina ormai. So, Mark, in the introduction I said that Riccardo and Mia won't be in Scotland for long. Did you get why? Hai capito perché?
Sì, because they're off to Italy shortly.
Bravo.
Si preparano a trascorrere una vacanza in Italia.
Ok, molto bene. Mark, what do we already know about Riccardo from this short introduction?
Apart from being played by an obviously extremely talented actor.
I agree.
Riccardo is the father. He's Mia's father.
Sì.
He is a Scottish Italian, so of dual heritage, both
Esatto.
Italian and Scottish heritage. And he's single. Well, he's divorced.
Sì, è giusto. E un'altra domanda, perché i genitori di Mia hanno divorziato?
Well, it's a little bit awkward. I think Mia's mum, Vanessa, had a secret relationship with un ragazzo molto più giovane di lei, a younger man.
Sì.
And then once Riccardo discovered this whole thing, she moved off to London with her new partner.
Esatto, povero Riccardo.
Sì. So because of the whole situation now, Riccardo's living with his daughter Mia, and he has become super protective, perhaps overprotective.
Iperprotettivo.
Yeah, and I think unfortunately for Mia, he treats her a little bit like his little girl.
Sì, la sua bambina.
La sua bambina, yeah. Okay, so that is our explanation of the introduction. Let's have a listen to the first section of dialogue here, where we've got Mia speaking to her friend Anna, and you'll hear a little about their background, because Mia and Anna know each other from previously. So let's listen to the phone conversation now.
Pronto?
Ciao Anna, sono Mia.
Oh mamma mia, che sorpresa! Mia, carissima, come stai?
Sto bene, e tu? Mi manchi tantissimo. Is that right? I miss you, that's what I want to say.
Sì, è giusto, bravissima. Anche tu mi manchi, ma brava, non hai dimenticato l'italiano?
Well, to tell you the truth, Anna, this year at uni has been really tough. We've covered so much Italian grammar, but I feel I've lost my ability to speak Italian. I think what I really need is a trip to Italy. And you know, I'm a bit shy to speak Italian with my dad, sono timida.
Don't worry, I know what you mean. When we lived in Austria, I found it hard to speak Italian with my mamma, what with her Sicilian accent. But now that we've moved to Trento, it's so much better. anche se il mio accento è ancora un po' tedesco, ma non importa. Come dicono qui in Italia, chi se ne frega? Who cares?
Chi se ne frega? Che espressione carina. I need to write it down before I forget it. Listen, Anna, I have a big favour to ask you. You know how I need to practice my Italian? Well, I was wondering, posso venire a lavorare al campeggio di tua mamma quest'estate? I really want to improve my Italian, and it would be great to be working with you in Trento.
Oh mia, ma certamente! Sai che mia madre ti adora, e poi d'estate abbiamo sempre un sacco di lavoro. Ci sono clienti da tutta Europa, e molti di loro parlano solo inglese, quindi non vedo l'ora.
Grazie mille. Allora parlo subito con mio padre. I hope he lets me.
Ah, sicuramente. A presto. Un bacio. Ciao.
Ciao, ciao.
Okay, so there we have our second section of the episode.
I really like this section, Mark, because I think it sounds so natural with a lot of phrases that actually young Italians use in everyday conversations.
And it has to be said, a fair amount of English too. I think Mia has forgotten everything that she's learned of her Italian at university.
Although Anna actually thinks the opposite.
È vero. She says, brava, non hai dimenticato l'italiano. You haven't forgotten the Italian.
Sì, è vero, ma Mark, hai capito perché Mia non vuole usare il suo italiano con il padre, con Riccardo?
See, it's something that happens very often with language learners, ourselves included.
Sì, io sono sempre timida.
Anch'io, a volte. I think in particular, young people would be a little more shy, especially if they're being told by their parents to speak the language. I remember when I was maybe 14, 15 and I was learning French and we went on holiday to France, and of course my parents would say to me, well, you're the one that's doing French, so you should be speaking the French. And of course I just stopped speaking completely. Things have changed since then, probably.
Definitely.
Would you say that Anna is as timida as Mia?
Oh no, assolutamente no.
She used a wonderful phrase. She's of German origin, so
See?
she's got an interesting background as well. And we may hear a little more about that as time goes on in the play. But she was talking about her accent and said that she doesn't care about her accent. And she used a wonderful phrase. It's the phrase, chi se ne frega.
Sì, chi se ne frega, bellissima, liberatoria.
Who cares? Yeah, it's just, who cares? I don't care about my accent. Chi se ne frega. But it's quite colloquial, isn't it?
Yes, we need to warn our listeners because it's a very liberating phrase, but it's very colloquial, informal, and it could be perceived as not very polite at times.
Don't use that one in a job interview.
No, please don't.
Okay, we will talk more about this phrase in our bonus episode, because there we're going to be going through each of the phrases, translating everything in detail, and then giving some more examples a little later. Torniamo alla conversazione tra Mia e Anna.
Sì, ho un'altra domanda per te, Mark.
Dimmi.
E perché Mia telefona alla sua amica Anna?
Allora, Mia vuole andare in Italia
Sì.
e lavorare al campeggio della mamma di Anna a Trento.
Bravissimo, sì, a Trento.
A Trento. So Anna's mum owns a campsite in Trento, and Mia is wanting to go there and work.
Una buona idea per migliorare il suo italiano, vero?
Certo, e fortunatamente Anna accetta, perché d'estate hanno sempre un sacco di lavoro.
Sì.
Lots of work, there's always lots of work in the summer. E clienti da tutta Europa che parlano solo inglese.
Bravissimo, I can hear a nice relative pronoun there. Clienti che parlano solo inglese. And also you used a very common expression, un sacco di lavoro, a lot of work.
And in this episode we have un sacco di italiano for our listeners.
Sì, un sacco, it's a word that we use all the time when speaking Italian. Again, it's slightly informal, but definitely it's not rude or anything like chi se ne frega.
Absolutely.
Another question, Mark. Can you remember what Mia says at the end to express, let's say, excitement? Something similar to the English, I can't wait.
Absolutely, and it's a phrase that lots of our Coffee Break Italian listeners used, commenting on our little announcement during the summer about when Coffee Break Italian was returning. They said, non vedo l'ora.
Non vedo l'ora, bravo.
I don't see the hour, literally, and of course we'll discuss that a little more in our bonus episode. But what will Mia's father think of all this? The wonderful Riccardo, what will he have to say about his precious daughter going off to Italy? Well, we'll find out after the break.
Interrompiamo questa trasmissione per una comunicazione importante. If you'd like to make faster progress with your Italian, don't forget that you can use the premium version of this course, which features video versions of the lessons, comprehensive lesson notes, and bonus listening materials. Allora, cosa aspetti? What are you waiting for? If you'd like to take your Italian to the next level, go to coffeebreakitalianplus.com.
Okay, we're back and we're listening to our radio play today, and we are going on to listen to the next section in which Riccardo and Mia are having a conversation, and we join them mid-conversation about the prospective trip to Italy.
I know, but it would be a really good opportunity for me. What do you think, Dad?
Mia, tesoro mio, vuoi andare in Italia, ma continui a parlare in inglese con me. Perché? Non capisco proprio. Ormai studi l'italiano all'università da 2 anni e dovresti essere più sicura di te.
Lo so, but it feels weird talking to you in Italian when we're in Scotland. That's why I want to go to Italy.
Capisco, ma che cosa farai in Italia?
What will I do?
Sì, dove vivrai, che lavoro farai, come passerai il tempo.
Dad, I've already explained this. You remember Anna, the Italian girl who came to study English last year at my university? She said that I can work at her mum's campsite in Trento. D'estate ci sono tantissimi turisti e hanno bisogno di personale soprattutto ad agosto.
Ah, che bello! E quali saranno i tuoi compiti?
My homework?
No, compiti significa homework, ma anche tasks o duties.
Anna said we will be working together, welcoming guests, checking them in, troubleshooting, and making sure people enjoy all the entertainment on offer. Allora, posso andare?
Va bene, ma ad una condizione.
A condition? Dad, don't you dare!
Voglio venire anch'io in Italia con te.
Oh no, ti prego! I can't believe you!
Ti prometto che non verrò al campeggio ogni giorno a controllare quello che fai. Mi fido di te, ormai sei grande. E poi devo anche sbrigare degli affari mentre sono in Italia e soprattutto voglio vedere un po' di case perché ho intenzione di comprare finalmente una casa per le vacanze in montagna.
You've made up your mind, haven't you?
Dai, Mia.
Is there any point in me trying to get you to change your mind?
Vedrai che ci divertiremo. Su, facciamo le valigie.
Mark, Riccardo doesn't seem very happy, does he?
No, he doesn't. I think it's also really funny that they've just decided to go and they're off to pack their suitcases already.
I know. They don't want to waste any time.
Indeed. Okay, we're talking about soap operas. Things happen quickly in soap operas. Yeah. No doubt Riccardo will return next week with a completely new actor or something.
Of course.
Anyway, yeah, Riccardo says that Mia has now been studying Italian for 2 years, da 2 anni. And be careful here because the for is not translated as per. It's actually da, and it's an action that's still in progress. And that's something that we've seen quite a number of times in Coffee Break Italian. And of course, that's one of the reasons that we are creating this radio play, to give you opportunities to hear language that you already know, but in a context. But the other thing that we're trying to do with this radio play is introduce some new language, and there is certainly something new in here, Francesca.
Yes, I know what you're about to talk about, Mark.
The future tense.
Il futuro, sì.
Futuro. So there were some examples of future tenses when Riccardo was asking Mia, what will you do when you go to Italy? So what did he say?
Che cosa farai in Italia?
What will you do in Italy? Now, we're not going to go through an explanation of the future at this stage, but just to recognize it, these I endings, farai, you will do. And he asked some other question, didn't he?
Yeah, Riccardo fa sempre 1000 domande. Ad esempio, I'm sure you can guess, dove vivrai?
So the same I ending, vivrai, from the verb vivere, to live. Where will you live?
Oh, che lavoro farai?
What job will you do?
Come passerai il tempo?
How will you spend your time?
E quali saranno i tuoi compiti?
That one's a little bit different. They were talking about a different person. The saranno is the they form. What will they be? Your tasks. What will your tasks be? But certainly if you're recognizing these I endings, or the rai, the farai, passerai, vivrai, these are future tenses. And at this stage, we'd just like you to start to recognize them, not necessarily know how to reproduce them. We'll cover that at a later date. Okay, Riccardo agrees to Mia going to Italy. A una condizione.
Sì, anche lui vuole andare in Italia con Mia, ma povera Mia, lui veramente vuole controllare troppo sua figlia.
Ma no, lui ha detto mi fido di te. I trust you. He trusts his daughter.
Chissà, però sì, è vero, lui ha un bel progetto suo personale.
He's got his own personal project, hasn't
Sì.
he? Ha intenzione di comprare una casa per le vacanze in montagna.
Sì, è un'idea carina, and he also thinks the two of them will be having fun. Did you hear another future tense there?
He said, vedrai che
Sì.
ci divertiremo.
Well, it's actually two future
It is
tenses.
indeed. So vedrai, you will see. There's a lovely old Italian song. I think it was Peppino di Capri. Vedrai, vedrai. Do you know that one?
Continua pure.
No, I don't know the rest of it. So vedrai, you will see. Che ci divertiremo. That we will enjoy ourselves.
Bravissimo.
Okay. Right, let's listen quickly to the final part, the last part of the narration for this episode.
Riccardo è davvero un papà iperprotettivo e la povera Mia non sembra molto soddisfatta del compromesso. Però, come diciamo in italiano, non tutto il male viene per nuocere. Quindi chissà quante cose potranno ancora accadere nella lunga e calda estate italiana.
Okay, I think this has been a great first episode. We've met the first three characters of our soap opera. We've got Mia, Riccardo, and Anna. And we'll meet more characters in the next episode.
Sì, unfortunately at the moment things are not looking great for Mia, but there is a nice Italian saying which leaves us with some hope. Did you get it, Mark?
Non tutto il male viene per nuocere.
Ottimo, non tutto il male viene per nuocere.
So literally, not all the evil or all the badness comes in order to do harm.
Sì.
Sometimes badness comes for good things, or perhaps every cloud has a silver lining.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Okay. Well, you can listen to the next episode in our next episode of Coffee Break Italian, and that will be coming very soon. But for now, we'll finish there. Okay, as I mentioned, our bonus episode will go through the whole radio play line by line with further examples and explanations and translations. And you can find that bonus episode along with the lesson notes and the video version of this lesson, of course, at coffeebreakitalianplus.com. And we have been updating our website recently, so do have a look at that.
And don't forget to join the Coffee Break Italian conversation on social media. You can put your language skills to the test and build cultural knowledge every week with our Facebook challenges. And join us on Twitter. We are at Learn Italian, and see behind the scene with the whole Coffee Break team on Instagram. Just search for Coffee Break Languages.
And we are also on YouTube. Search for Coffee Break Languages and subscribe to our channel to get regular language learning videos, including some new content for Italian. So Coffee Break Languages on YouTube. È tutto per oggi. That is it for this episode. We'll be back soon with the next episode of Coffee Break Italian and the next episode of our soap with Mia and Riccardo and Anna and some new characters too. That's it. Grazie molte.
Alla prossima.
Ciao ciao.
Ciao.
You have been listening to a production of the Coffee Break Academy for the Radiolingua Network. Copyright 2017 Radiolingua Limited. Recording copyright 2017 Radiolingua Limited. All rights reserved.